what they're supposed to do at this point, and hopefully they can sustain it. Because again, this is their tournament life on the line, and you don't want Cambodia for you to land on a sweep. A team seated in the group stage is gonna be the team that's gonna eliminate you from the entire tournament. You don't want that to be the headline.
Exactly, and you also wouldn't want to go down in a 2-0 fashion. It's now Saudi Arabia popping off as Rafa takes a kill down on the 1-1, and as they continue on, UAE as well as Nabi joins the fray. But the Swan Song is not quite enough to get a kill down on the Pink just yet. Pink is just going to be roaming around, hoping that he will be able to get away, but oh no, Pink with a sliver of health almost got away, but down to the count of Nabi.
That's going to be the first kill of Cambodia in this specific game. So if you're Cambodia, you'll take what you can get. Absolutely. Just at least gives you a bit more of that composure, and it gives you a bit more of that momentum. Because again, there's going to be a second turtle appearing in this fight. And that kill went on to Nabi, who didn't really check that push and got surprised by the Khalid here.
Wow, the electrifying beast from Sahara Rafa definitely putting quite a number over to the side of Cambodia. They are really afraid of that Joy, as we can very obviously tell. Now, Saudi Arabia, they do have got the priority over the turtle, and Cambodia, they have absolutely nothing that they can do against the turtle. With Saudi Arabia constantly winning in every single one of these lanes, it's very hard for them to keep up, as you can see UAE completely swamped by the numbers of Saudi Arabians. It's just going to be jumping and collapsing onto one person.
They've been showering them with a lot of those AoE damage, right? It has literally been the case here for Saudi Arabia at this point in time. They're taking advantage of the fact that Cambodia only has those single target burst damage potential, to the point where Takami doesn't even have an entire link to himself, but she got living right at the back.
Yep, and here we go. The Frigid Glacier didn't really quite manage to land onto anyone at this point in time just yet. While Saudi Arabia, they're constantly putting a lot of emphasis on the members for the side of Cambodia. As you can see, lyrics all the way in the back line. The flicker, Blaster Rage says to land perfectly. But now B goes in with the Swan Song, but surprisingly, that damage is just not really doing anything at all. While in the meantime, Moshi inhibits onto lyrics, hoping they will be able to do enough. But let's be honest here, this is going to be a tough one for Moshi. Once he's out of lyrics, he's probably going to die. But a quick little flicker will be able to ensure that Moshi runs away just as effectively, while Saudi Arabia takes 4, or rather takes 3 kills, while they only lost a single one.
Great patience coming in from KSA, just knowing when, as soon as a lot of the skills coming in from Cambodia were utilized already by the said team, Saudi Arabia just went for it, just because they have the Aerithel on their side. Lunar, we haven't seen much of her in like the first few minutes of the matchup, but that didn't stop her from getting most of these objectives to be in her favor. And not only that, that's going to be another kill towards us. Cambodia here, Saudi Arabia is really going for it.
Great follow-up when it comes to Reggie Sandstorm. Nabi continues on to the Swan Song. Didn't really quite manage to do too much damage at all. Livid with a killing spree down on the UEE. While Tegami goes over the backlines, hoping that the Ohi Shadow kill is more than enough to get a kill down onto Lunar. But every single one of the members from Saudi Arabia survives, while Cambodia lost 3.
Yeah, Tegami was, taking a risk as of that moment, because she knew that she already used most of her skill sets. She doesn't have a quad shadow to be able to escape, so the best gamble she could go for was to just go for a Ugi shadow kill and hope for the best. But during that time, Saudi Arabia, good presence of mind, sticking together makes or divides that total damage output. But here they go again.
Oh my god, Rafa, bloodthirsty, time and time again, just dealing with Yui like no tomorrow. Now that is definitely a pain in the butt, since this 1-1 can't do anything at all to Rafa, because he's traveling at the speed of light. And Cambodia, now with their back against the wall, this is Nabi, Moshi, and UEE that went down to a single Hilda.
This is just, pretty much unfortunate for Cambodia, because again, you'd love to at least make that pretty operational. But as soon as I say that, man, Nabi and Yui is having the worst of times. 0-5 and 0 for the 1-1. She didn't get the scaling that she needs in the early portions of the game, so she's going to be even more delayed in the later stages. And Saudi Arabia has done a tremendous job, most especially Rafa, just because of the fact that she is always present whenever the 1-1 appears on the floor. She does not hesitate to use those electrifying beats to just make sure that the damage is going to be felt by Cambodia here. And now their backs are against the wall. Saudi Arabia looking to extend this to a game number 3.
Exactly. Saudi Arabia is doing an absolutely phenomenal job that Cambodia can't even do anything. But we are now currently 9 minutes into the game. We're looking at about 8,000 gold lead, very much in line to what they want to do. As the Reggie says, don't lands on the UE. Oh, not again, UE, not again! The entirety of Cambodia melts at the touch of Saudi Arabia as this hot knife is slicing through the buttery smooth Cambodia. And this is just a tough game to come back onto because Cambodia can only play in the late stages of the game. They need to survive even longer for Nabi to get the damage that she absolutely wants.
That's going to be another question, right? Can Cambodia reach that point in time where they can fight back when they want to? Because if they don't, Saudi Arabia is then just going to wreak havoc over and over again. Yui is struggling so much into trying to find those resources available. She doesn't have a choice. She needs to come out of the base just so the resources are going to happen here. Because from what we're seeing, right, Saudi Arabia is already freezing the lanes, not really taking much of those minions away, so that Yui is going to be starved here. She can't really buy a lot of those resources just because she lacks the gold that should come from the minions, but Saudi Arabia is not giving it to her anyway.
Oh man, so now Nabi as well, Nabi, Tegami, Yui, all three of them does not have the farm that is absolutely required for them to even go online. And Saudi Arabia is already at 10,000 gold lead at this point in time, so the gap is just going to get wider and wider. Once Saudi Arabia reaches, 45,000 gold, that is pretty much going to be the end game for the side of Saudi, while Cambodia will still be stuck somewhere around 30 to 35k on the economy. So there is a lot of time that Cambodia needs to burn and to buy. Only 18 minutes into the game. Only then can we expect Cambodia be able to fight back, but can they hold on that long?
Not only that, right, but Cambodia hasn't even broken a single turret. But as soon as they say that, it's Tegami finally contributing to an objective that was scored here coming in from Cambodia. But the only problem is that they are just struggling to find most of their damage outputs just because of the lack of gold. You see the 10,000 gold gap discrepancy here in favor of Saudi Arabia, and in disagree coming in from Cambodia. They have to find a way to secure this because, again, the Hayabusa is supposed to scale in the early portions of the game, but she couldn't come to full effect anymore. I'm talking about Tegami because the power spike is already gone as we speak, so it's supposed to be Yui's time, but she chose a defensive item with that rose gold meter instead of building on those extra damage outputs just because she could no longer handle the damage that was brought about by Saudi Arabia.
So now 12 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. The Lord is marching down from the bottom lane. Mid and the top lane are equally as pushed out. Saudi Arabia, they're really happy with what they've got as Lyric just going to be jumping right into the face of UAE. UAE runs away with the AOG just to make sure that Reggie Sansom doesn't hit on anyone. Nabi popped off with the Swan Song, but where's the damage at all? Cambodia! They're melted down one by one. It is where Saudi Arabia, they broke through like an Olympic diver, and Cambodia would have unfortunately have got no answer to this whatsoever. As now Tegami hoping that they will be able to extend their lifeline, hoping that they will be able to stay in this game for a little while longer. Tegami went in for a short little bit together with Nabi. They should be able to clear this wave just as effectively, but every single one of the members from the side of Saudi Arabia are just going to be focusing down on Tegami with the next one over to the side of Nabi. Saudi Arabia takes game 2.